Hey, this is Jack from Alphacharts with a state of the market video. Today is December 14th, 2024. Before we get started, this video is for informational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security. And I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, thank you all for watching the video. I'm a little under the weather, as you can hear my voice, but we're going to power through this. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. You can find me on X as well at Alphacharts365. I run an educational subscriber group there. Tons and tons of content that comes out of this group, including in-depth market video with an extended watch list, a focus list, which narrows it down to 4 or 5 names, midweek videos on Tuesday, Thursdays, annotated charts, daily market scans, daily posts just for subscribers, chart requests, and member-only live streams. That's pretty cool. We're doing that about every other week, and that's where members interact with me and give me charts they're looking at, market questions, things of that nature. What I don't do is I don't tell you to buy or sell. Just what I would do with risk management and names I'm looking at and how I'm viewing the market. I think it's, if you don't have the time to do the research because you work full time, you have a family, you're just beginning out, you're just starting out, or even if you've been doing this for a while and you need that second, you're kind of doing it by yourself, and you need a second opinion on things and just want to see what other people are doing. I think this is a great subscription for you. It's $10 a month, super inexpensive. Just click that subscribe button right there. It's very easy. If you're not an X and you're a YouTube only watcher, I do have the same exact content on YouTube. You just click the join button right over here into the members, and you can see here's all the videos that I've been uploading: midweek video, focus list, subscriber live cast, right? Weekend video for members. That's with the extended watch list. So you see all the videos are right there, just like I give to the X. I also in the community tab we have all the charts that I share. See if I go there real fast. Yeah. So you see, I'm sharing. Oh, that's not showing the charts on this one. Oh, probably because I'm not logged in right here. But either way, I share the charts in there. Trust me, they're there. I promise. Anyway, so that's that. So check it out. Click the join button if you're on YouTube, or if you're an X, click the subscribe button and come join us. All right, get into these charts. Um, so SPY. Let's start off with the SPY. We have a uptrend still in progress, right? But there are a few things that on this uptrend, were hard to make progress past this 608-ish area. And if you look at the weekly, by the way, it was down for the week, zero point 0.6. If you use this as a base, whether you want to call it a cup and handle or just a base or whatever you want to call it, and this is the breakout right here. This is the roughly the Fibonacci extension, the 2.0 extension to so it's the double, right? And so this is a normal place for sellers to show up. Now, whether this is just a little sideways consolidation or something more, it remains to be seen. But we have the Fibonacci extension, we have, price action high. Technically, that's a lower high right there. So we have some questions right now in this area. Maybe it's just a sideways movement. We're still above all the significant moving averages. So that's a very good possibility that we're just moving sideways. But I think there's some cautionary information coming in here. It's just been a hard trade last week and a half. As of right now, though, it was down zero point 0.6 on the week. RSP was down 1.65. So you see much more selling on the equal weighted than the cap weighted. And that just shows you how hard it's been, really. Um, and you see that the equal weighted is actually been in a pretty significant downtrend for a while. Top to bottom, it's been, maybe 3.5% or so. And it's right now tagging the 50-day. So that's a very significant spot, I think, for the 50-day for the RSP. This 180, 185 spot. Right now, it held, but we'll see what happens next week. But that's a lot of selling. Qs basically went out at all-time highs on Friday. Hard to be too bearish saying that out loud, right? And on the week, the Qs were up 0.76. So you see how they now have kind of the torch, right, of leading the market potentially. Um, and so there's some nice space up here. And is it extended? Yeah, I think they're a little bit extended, but nothing crazy, right? It's been kind of a choppy sideways move for the Qs as well, up 0.76. Equal weight Qs down 0.43. Again, there's your divergence for the equal weights versus cap weighted. That tells you the money is flowing into mega caps, which is making the cap weighted indexes look much better. But under the surface, there's definitely breadth deterioration. That's what this tells me. Mid cap on the daily looks just like RSP, doesn't it? They look exactly the same. RSP a little bit worse, but coming down to the 50-day, right around that 590-ish area. It's close. We'll see if it continues lower. But again, just steady, very organized pullback. Looking at the weekly, they were down 1.53 on the week. Small caps were down 2.45 on the week, and they are also near the 50-day. And I really think in an inflection point. Let's go back to the weekly. If you see here, this was where resistance, and this was kind of like a supply area right here, and now it's right in the same area, and that's exactly where the 50-day is, just about. And I think this is very important. If this continues lower, can we get a waterfalls type decline? It's possible, but we could also get a bounce. So we'll see. I think early Monday, Tuesday will be very interesting to see how this reacts. But you can see they're selling, right? Down 2.8 on the week, 2.45 on the week. That's a pretty significant amount of selling. It adds to that cautionary tale to say, we can't, I'm not bearish, but I'm a little bit cautious. XLF, that slow deterioration, very organized pullback here. Some distribution showing up on the chart as well. 50-day moving average coming up. SMH, nice pop off of Broadcom's earnings on Friday, right? But we still is a lower high compared to here, so that's an issue. You see, we were having higher lows. That was very constructive. Now we're starting to do lower highs, less constructive, right? I'm gonna move this here because that could be a new significant lower high. We're gonna find out on Monday. On the weekly, you see they were up about 3 tenths, 35 basis points. Um, but the question is this a short in the making? It's possible. But for me, I think we have to get below this 200-day because that has been pretty good support along the way, even just recently. So not considering shorting semiconductors unless we're under the 200-day. But there's definitely a lot of questions in semiconductor land. Now, if this pops back above 255-ish, long all day, right? But there's definitely some questions, and as a market indicator, again, adds to our cautionary tale. Now, the positive is that equal weights have been doing very, very well. So, that means, people are not buying Nvidia, but they're buying everything else in and you can see it in here. Here, let's look at this. Here's Nvidia, right? Daily chart. You know, Is this a head and shoulders top on Nvidia? It could be if this area falls right here, 132.50-ish. This could be a pretty significant decline in Nvidia. So that is definitely something to consider. But you see XSD, it doesn't care that much about Nvidia. It's just equal weighted. So again, doing pretty good, and on the week up almost 2%. So they are buying semiconductors, just not some of the big ones. But Broadcom may have changed that though. IYT on the weekly chart, I was very happy with this breakout. Last 2 weeks, last week was down 2%, the week before that down 4%. Uh, that's a pretty big pullback. Now we are right to the breakout area, right around that $70. That's always been the line in the sand for me. But underneath the 50-day, there's your 200-day, really flat at this point. And further weakness here would be, again, that's very cautionary. If this breaks, now if this bounces, no big deal. It was just a retest. That's why I'm not bearish. I'm just cautionary right here. Um, Transports, equal weighted. Coming down, not as bad as the cap weighted. Again, you're seeing some of that in here, divergence, but still not a good look. Down 1.5% on the week. Housing, ITB, home construction, down below the 200-day, right? That's a pretty good pullback, and that is very significant. If it starts to live below the 200-day, that's a problem, right? Going back 200 days is right into here. That's 200 days ago. Stop that. Close enough. So as we get rid of this data over the next couple of weeks, if this starts to live underneath the 200-day, that's going to be significant. Again, early next week, we'll show 50 days already declining. All the other moving averages already declining. Housing's has some issues. XHB, not quite to the 200-day yet because, again, different constituents, but still a pretty good decline with a declining 50-day. So we have housing in trouble, right? Below the 50-day. We have transports at inflection points, right? At least IYT is, I think, $70. We have at least large semiconductors having some issues. Small ones are doing okay still. Banking is showing signs of stress. Again, above the rising 50 days, so I'm not too worried about it yet, but still a little bit of stress in there. So right now, our economic indicators are showing some stress in there. We're also seeing some piling in of mega caps relative to small caps. We see it here, and we see it here, and we see it in here, right? So, that market breadth is narrowing. We have some cracks structurally in the market. I think we're in a cautious time. I go into all this, plus I go into the internals, and much more depth, and also what is holding up the best in my subscriber group. If you're interested in more information, again, just go to Alphacharts 365, click that subscribe, go to YouTube, click that join. I think it's worth it. It's also month to month, so there's no commitment, right? You could like it, you could try it, you could love it, you could stay with me. You may say it's not for me, and you could exit it next month. No big deal. All right, check me out. Good luck in the markets this week. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you soon.